Everyone, this is the proper review on Joshua Dubois. Last night's video was an instant reaction. It's probably been like 2 hours since the fight now. I'm on holiday actually. I'm just outside by the sea on our, I'm not sure what this is. It's not a balcony because it's bigger than a balcony. I'm not trying to gloat or nothing, but it's a nice place. I didn't pay for it, it's the in-laws. Anyway, the fight, yeah. It's incredible fight, incredible. But as a fellow professional boxer, I want to give some insight on how I thought it went down. The first thing I want to start with is not the actual fight, the refereeing. I didn't think the refereeing was great. I thought Joshua was holding a lot, which we'll get to. I thought he was holding a lot. I thought he could have pulled him up on the holding. I thought Joshua got through so many rounds due to holding, which is part and parcel of the game. It's holding's good. I've been taught to do it at the right times. If you've been telling the chin, you need a break a rhythm, anything really. Holding is good and it's part of the game, but it was excessive. He got into the wall very early about his head. I didn't think he wasn't headbutting. He was putting his head under Joshua's chin in a safe place, which I thought was the right thing to do. I don't know. I thought he was pulling him up a little bit quickly. I think there were times. Would I say let it go on too long? There were times he definitely could have stopped it, and I wouldn't have complained. It is a heavyweight world title fight, and Joshua did come back into it. So, the last point there, you could definitely argue at least. I wasn't a big fan of the refereeing performance, but it's a huge night, 96,000 people. I'm not getting on at him. I'm just reviewing the fight. I'm still a current boxer, so if he ever referees me or judges me. Anyway, on to the fight. It was I knew the jab would be key. And I knew Dubois, like I'd always said, he had the best jab I've ever faced. The heaviest one, for sure. They both come out strong behind the jabs. Joshua was sharp. Joshua got very fast hands for a big fella, especially his jab's fast. But the difference was, Josh was hitting Dubois with a jab, and Dubois was it wasn't breaking his rhythm, if that makes sense. When Dubois hits you with a jab, it snaps your head back and it just interrupts your rhythm. And not only that, if your head keeps flinging up to the ceiling, I know obviously it's outdoor, but like your head keeps snapping up, it just breaks your rhythm completely, And more than that, it hurts, to be honest. And if Dubois is hitting you on the chin with that jab, I promise you now, in them small gloves, I've not been hit by him with small gloves, that stiff jab on his chin, you'll feel it. Josh will be feeling it. He'd been feeling that in his legs. He'd been feeling that big time. So that was the difference, to be honest. I thought it would come down to the jabs. And look, to be honest, even though I said Dubois had the heaviest jab I've ever faced, I was thinking Joshua would come out and control things with his jab. But Dubois it looked so solid. Joshua's jab was sharp, it was fast, it was good. And against most men, that would have been set up the right hand and been game over quickly. But with Dubois was just eating him. Weren't even knocking his head back. He looks at 27 now, he looks physically to have just gone on to another level. And his jab was unsettling Joshua, knocking his head back. Joshua was not getting no rhythm. He only landed one or two straight right hands because Dubois' jab was just kept knocking him off balance. And when Joshua's jab was landing, there's going jab for jab a lot. You can't go jab for jab with Dubois. You can't do it. The second most important thing I thought, which tipped things in Dubois' favour, or maybe more so against Joshua. Joshua's hand position was crazy. Joshua's hands were down by his chest early, very early. Too early to say it was. Dubois landed some nice body shots. I think round 2 and 3, he targeted the body, landed some lovely shots. But Joshua's hands were down by his chest. Not sure what that was, not sure why that was. We've seen him in recent fights and he was looking neat and tidy, his hands were high. But again, this goes down to what we were saying about Ben Davison working the Oracle. He'd been in with a much lower level opposition. And even the good fighters, Franklin's a good fighter, don't get me wrong. Technically I would argue, could say he's better than Dubois, but the difference in power and strength is night and day. And maybe I think Joshua may have got a shock. Like we were saying, B and C level operators, when you're going with like A level operator, the difference is crazy. I boxed a few A-level operators, I would say. And the difference from A, you know, my best wins like C and D level. When I boxed an A-level operator, when I boxed the B-level ones, I was like, whoa, this is different. Like different level speed, power, strength, everything. And I just think with Joshua, I think the first 30 seconds he felt like physical strength, felt like jab, and his hands just like dropped by his chest. I'm not sure whether he was trying to relax or he was looking for that pull count with the right hand. I'm not sure what it was, but he looked all at sea early on, to be honest. See, that hand positioning for me was a weird one. I know Ben Davison and his team, they're big on the whole hand positioning thing, as am I. His hand positioning was awful. So yeah, I think they were the two main factors really, from a boxing perspective, the jab and Joshua's hand positioning. Dubois was good, like I said, in close. The referee pulled him up a lot with his head. When Dubois got close, his head position was good. It was under Joshua's chin, and he used his physical strength to bully Joshua. For me, the big difference was physical strength, I think, and I don't think Joshua just cannot stand up to that power that Dubois had. I don't think Joshua's chinny, and I still don't think he is. I just don't think Joshua could stand up to Dubois' power. And I don't think Dubois will stand up to Joshua's power, but Joshua, he never got set with that right hand. I think he landed 2 right hands the whole fight. The second one he landed was at the very end when he hurt Dubois, you know. But yeah, the jab, the hand positioning, Dubois very clever with his head positioning up close. And then it just comes down to physical strength and power. And maybe will to win, you know. I think Anthony Joshua was hard as nails, and he is, and he's tough and he wants to win. But Dubois just looked like a man possessed. So yeah, that's about it really. Simple as that. Them few boxing things, and then just comes down to, as always, physical attributes. You know, the strength, the power. You know, that will to win. You know, them physical attributes and them mental attributes. You know, I think for Dubois was just the better man really. You know, now the fight's been gone and done a couple of hours ago. Would I like to see the rematch? It was one-sided, you know. Now looking back, it was very one-sided. It was extremely one-sided. Would I watch it back? Yeah, I think I would watch it back. Obviously, Joshua's still a superstar name, still a top-class operator. There's not many better than him around. So would I see it? I'd like to see it, but I've been more intrigued probably to see Dubois-Bacoli. Dubois-Bacoli, probably the number one fight I would like to see involving Dubois. Dubois-Zhang. Dubois-Park would be an interesting one. Park would give him something different, movement. Lots of movement. That would be a different look for him. We know he struggled with Usyk. But yeah, I'm not sure Dubois will go near Bacoli. I've heard sparring rumours about Bacoli knocking Dubois out, but that's sparring again. But yeah, and as for Anthony Joshua, a lot of people are calling for him to retire. I'm not so sure. We've been here before, after the Usyk fights, after the Ruiz fights. I'm sure he can come back, but I don't think he beats Dubois ever. I just don't think he can. He can't match him for strength. Just can't match him for that physicality, I don't think. And he can't get comfortable with him. He can't get set. He's too worried about Dubois' power and strength. He can't get himself set. But I think he'll be back. Joshua Fury's always there. You know, if Fury loses to Usyk, I think we'll see Fury Joshua, and I hope we do. I think Joshua's got something left. I just don't think he's the best heavyweight of this era. Is he getting on a bit? Yeah, I don't think he's past it by any means. I still think he's a top heavyweight. I just think Dubois is all wrong for him. But that's a little bit of a more in-depth look at last night's fight when this goes out. Yeah, an incredible fight.